Okay, so we've all heard it, right? Green tea is supposedly one of the healthiest things you can possibly drink. But, in a world that's just full of wellness trends, what's the real story? What does the science actually say? Is it a true superfood, or is the reality just a little more complicated? Let's dive in and really try to separate the facts from the hype.
And this quote from Healthline, it really just captures the popular view, doesn't it? I mean, for thousands of years, green tea wasn't just a drink. People used it as medicine. And today, it gets celebrated for literally everything, from weight management all the way to cancer prevention. This powerful reputation, it's the perfect place for us to start.
So, before we jump into all the benefits, we've got to meet the star of the show, EGCG. Yeah, it's a mouthful. It's a type of really powerful antioxidant called a catechin, and it's the main active ingredient in green tea. Just think of it as the powerhouse molecule that scientists believe is behind most of green tea's famous health effects. So remember that name, EGCG, because we're going to be talking about it a lot.
All right, let's start with the good stuff. What does the actual research say about the benefits of having a daily cup of green tea? Let's take a look at some of the most compelling science out there.
Just look at this number for a second. It is huge. A 2020 study linked drinking green tea with a 64% lower chance of cognitive impairment in middle-aged and older adults. I mean, that is a massive potential benefit, right? Researchers think it's that special combination of EGCG, L-theanine, and a little caffeine all working together that helps support things like memory and attention.
But, and this is a really big but, here's our first dose of reality. While that number is incredibly promising, scientists are always quick to point out that this shows a link, not necessarily a direct cause. We still need more big human studies to really prove that green tea is the sole reason for these amazing brain protective effects. It's that classic science mantra, correlation isn't causation.
Okay, so let's shift gears from our brains to our bones. This chart, this shows something really interesting from a study on postmenopausal women. If you look at the bars, you can see that daily tea drinkers had a significantly higher bone mineral density in their spine compared to the women who didn't drink tea. This suggests that, hey, a regular tea habit could actually be a simple way to help protect against things like osteoporosis.
And the potential benefits, well, they don't stop there. When scientists pull together the results of lots of different studies, it's a process called a meta-analysis. They find that green tea can have a really positive, even if it's modest, impact on your heart health. We're talking about things like lowering that bad LDL cholesterol while maybe even raising the good HDL. And there's also evidence for small but meaningful drops in blood pressure, and even a link to lower belly fat in women who drink 4 or more cups a day.
Okay, so we've seen the promising side, right? But to get the whole story, we have to look at the potential downsides. And it turns out that with green tea, the form you take it in and how much you take, well, it matters a lot.
And this is where the story takes a pretty serious turn. Back in 2018, the European Food Safety Authority raised a major red flag. They found reports of rare but serious liver injury that was linked to green tea supplements. Now, this wasn't about the drink, it was about the pills. And it prompted health bodies all over to investigate, and what they found is something that honestly everyone should know about.
And here it is. This is the single most important distinction we need to make. The risk is not with the tea that you brew at home. Green tea as a drink is considered incredibly safe. The problem is with these highly concentrated extracts and supplements. These pills can pack a dose of those catechins, like EGCG, that's hundreds of times stronger than what you'd get in a cup of tea. And it's that extreme concentration where the potential for trouble really begins.
This right here, this is the danger zone. The reviews found that when daily EGCG intake from supplements went above 800 milligrams, there was a clear increase in liver enzymes in the blood. That's basically a warning signal from your body that the liver is under stress or even being injured. So if you are ever thinking about taking a green tea supplement, that 800 milligram number, that is the red line you absolutely need to be aware of.
Now, beyond that huge supplement issue, there's some important fine print we need to cover. Like the slide says, there are a few hidden dangers to think about, especially if you take common medications or if you drink a ton of tea.
Okay, please pay close attention to this one because this could be really, really important for you or maybe someone you know. Green tea isn't just some simple drink. Its compounds could actually interact with very common medications. For instance, it can make blood pressure drugs like lisinopril less effective. It can mess with blood thinners like warfarin. The bottom line is just so simple. If you are on any regular medication, you have to talk to your doctor or your pharmacist before making green tea a big part of your daily routine. So here's a surprising little fact for you. Tea plants are fantastic at soaking up fluoride from the soil. And guess what? That fluoride ends up in your cup. Now, in small amounts, fluoride is great for our teeth, but this is just another example of why going to extremes with anything, even something as healthy as green tea, is probably not a great idea.
And speaking of extremes, wow, this finding is a real head-turner. Remember that incredible 64% lower chance of cognitive decline we were so excited about? Well, a 2023 study suggested that drinking a truly massive amount, we're talking more than 13 cups a day, might completely flip the script and actually increase the risk of Alzheimer's. It is such a stark reminder that yes, you absolutely can have too much of a good thing.
Okay, we've looked at the exciting benefits, and we've looked at some pretty serious cautions. So where does that leave us? Let's try to boil all of this down into a clear, simple verdict that you can actually use.
So after all of that, what's the sweet spot? Well, when you look across all the research, the general agreement seems to land right here, 3 to 5 cups a day. That really seems to be the magic number that's most consistently linked with all the benefits long before you get anywhere near that risky territory. It's a simple, practical guideline.
So what is the final takeaway? It's that green tea is not some magic potion. It's not going to undo a bad diet or a lack of exercise. But the evidence is strong that when you enjoy it as a brew drink and you do it in moderation, it is a genuinely healthy habit. It's not the whole secret to health, but it can be a really valuable piece of the puzzle.
Which brings us right back to where we started. Is green tea a miracle cure? Well, based on the evidence, that's definitely hype. But a simple, healthy habit? You know what? That seems to be right on the money. So go ahead, enjoy that cup. Thanks for tuning in.